This is a Japanese horror story for sleep. I will tell it slowly, in a calm and quiet voice. Please relax, and listen comfortably. The Thing from the Sea. A coworker of mine usually goes along with anything. But for some reason, he absolutely refuses to go near the sea. I asked him about it once, but he clearly didn't want to talk. So one night I got him drunk and made him tell me. This is his story. Back when I was still a student, a friend and I went on a trip. I think it was the middle of winter. It wasn't much of a trip, really. We were just driving around aimlessly, in a van with my friend's dog. It was all pretty carefree. I don't remember what day of the trip it was. It was already dark when we reached a desolate village by the sea. It was a tiny settlement, clinging precariously to the narrow strip between the mountains and the sea. We were running low on gas. As we drove along the coastal road looking for a gas station, we soon found one. But it was already closed. We went around back. A large bamboo strainer was hanging from the awning over the door. Thinking it was in the way, I pushed past it and rang the bell. Excuse me, could we get some gas? I could sense someone inside, but there was no reply. Are they seriously ignoring us? Man, screw that. Ring it again. Hello. After we kept calling out, the light inside finally turned on, and a silhouette appeared behind the glass door. Who is it? We need some gas. We're closed. An irritated voice cut me off before I could finish. Come on, please. No. I'm not opening tonight. There was no changing his mind. We gave up and went back to the van. This is why I can't stand the countryside. Forget it. Let's sleep here tonight. We'll make a point of getting gas here first thing tomorrow morning. As we looked for a place to park, we noticed that every shop and house in the village was shut tight. And every house had baskets and bamboo strainers hanging from the eaves. Maybe there's a festival or something. Too quiet for that. The wind's unbearable. Oh, we can park over there. A long stone staircase ran from a small shrine on the mountainside down to the sea. There was a small parking area at its base, sheltered by a hedge. We parked behind the torii gate. It was completely dark, and there was nothing else to do. Grumbling to ourselves, we wrapped ourselves in blankets and went to sleep in the front seats. I don't know how long I'd been asleep when the dog's growling woke me up. That's when I noticed a strong, sickening smell. The dog was baring its teeth and growling toward the sea. The dog was usually calm, but no matter how much we tried to calm him down, he wouldn't settle. My friend woke up and peered into the darkness. The sea, lit by the moon, was eerily calm. Something was moving along the edge of the barren concrete seawall. What is that? My friend whispered hoarsely. I don't know. At first, it looked like a thick pipe or a log crawling out of the sea. It writhed like a snake as it slowly crawled onto the shore. Strangely, it made no sound. In fact, it looked more like a mass of black smoke. I couldn't even tell whether it had a physical form. Instead, a strange, indescribable ringing filled my ears. The smell had grown strong enough to make me sick. One end of it had already reached a house across the road, while the other still disappeared into the sea. That end seemed to be peering beneath the eaves of a nearby house. I couldn't make it out clearly, but there was something that looked like a face. Neither of us thought of ourselves as cowards. But there was something profoundly sinister about it. The moment I saw it, my body locked up and I couldn't move. Maybe that's what it feels like to have your heart seized by fear. It seemed to be staring at the bamboo strainer hanging from the eaves. After a while, it slowly began to move again and headed for the next house. "Drive now." My friend's trembling voice snapped me out of it. I somehow managed to lift my frozen arm and turn the key. The engine roared through the stillness. The thing slowly began to turn toward us. Oh no. I don't know why, but I knew I couldn't look it in the eyes. I stared straight ahead and slammed my foot on the accelerator. In the back seat, the dog suddenly started barking like mad. I heard a sharp wheeze, followed by a heavy thud. My friend glanced back and froze, a gasp caught in his throat. "Idiot, don't look back." Without thinking, I grabbed his shoulder and pulled him forward. When he turned back around, his face was twisted with terror, and his eyes were completely unfocused. I'm not proud of it, but I kept my foot on the accelerator, screaming in terror. We drove back the way we had come until we ran out of gas, somehow managing to make it over the mountain pass. I didn't sleep at all that night. My friend remained in a near-delirious state and was admitted to a nearby hospital. He spent the next week bedridden with a high fever. Even after he recovered, he became severely distressed whenever the incident was mentioned. So I never found out what he had seen when he looked back. After graduation, we gradually lost touch. As for the dog, it became violently deranged. It would bite anyone in sight, then collapse foaming at the mouth. As sad as it was, they eventually had it put down. I still don't know what that thing was, and I don't want to know. Anyway, I stay away from the sea. That was my coworker's story. It reminded me of an old folklore book I once read. It mentioned a custom of using baskets and bamboo strainers as charms against evil, and certain taboo days when people were forbidden to look at the sea. But I no longer have the book, so I can't compare the two. Did you enjoy tonight's tale? If you did, please subscribe for more. Now, sweet dreams. If you can.